What is up guys, we are the first year designers and welcome to this newest video. So in this video I'm going to talk about the top fonts which architecture students and architects use regularly. So if you guys like this kind of content, then do make sure to subscribe, do make sure to comment, do make sure to like this video, because we have to play with that YouTube algorithm and reach more people as this is a new channel. With that being said, let's get started. So we architecture students and architects use various different kinds of fonts. Let it be for your jury projects, let it be for our YouTube videos, let it be for our client projects, let it be for our presentations. We use various different kinds of fonts, right? So that is why going with a proper font which is eligible to read is pretty important, because if it is not eligible, it is not going to work out well, especially if it is a paid project. So because of that, we have listed down some of the fonts we regularly use in our projects, and I'm sure that you guys will love it too. Again, these are just personal preferences. There is no way, there is no compulsion for you guys to use them. But of course, if you guys like it, definitely try it out at least once. One of the tips which I can give you guys while making any kind of presentations is that always use a maximum of 3 kind of fonts only in a one single project. Why is that? One of them should be for your headings, one of them should be for your body, another one should be for your levelings of your illustrations, of your drawings, of your diagrams, etc. So maximum of 3 fonts. You can use a maximum of 2 fonts or maybe one font with different thicknesses, but do not use various different kinds of fonts in one single project because it is not going to look good. So with that being said, the first font which I'm going to recommend to you guys is called Gotham. And no, it is not the Gotham City Gotham font or the Gotham TV show Gotham font. Those are totally different, and that is not this font. This is one of those widely used fonts which has a little bit of contemporary feel to it. It is designed by Tobias Jones and it has 4 different kind of weights, and now I guess it has various different kinds of weights made by different kind of people or by the same people. I'm not really sure of that, but officially it was launched at 4 different thicknesses. Now it has various different kinds of thickness. With that being said, this is extremely cool for headings. As you can see, one of my pictures from Instagram is there. If you guys are not yet following me, do make sure to follow me there as well. One of the pictures is there and the heading looks super cool in Gotham. Again, the body or the main content also looks super good, and this is also the reason why this font is one of the widely used fonts in most TV commercials, movies, as well as graphic designing, and architecture sheet presentation as well as portfolio presentations are no different. Another good alternative to this font which has almost the same feeling is another sans serif font called Poppins. So you can use either of the one. I feel Gotham is a better suited one as a sans serif font using in your projects. The next font is called Futura, which is a geometry sans serif font originally designed by Paul Renner and released by Board Type Foundry in 1927. The typeface has a little bit of roundness, forwardness, and a little bit of efficiency to it. It has a little bit of modern feeling to it. If you guys just look at it, you guys can see those modern edges, all those modern curves out there which this font has. Again, it can be used for headings, but I will suggest it is really cool to use it, especially in your sheet levelings for your diagrams or illustrations. It is definitely going to look a lot better in those cases. And because of all this modern design to it, it is one of the most popular fonts out there, used in corporate design, logo design, and any other kind of web design fields too. Definitely looks a lot better. The next font which I would like to say is Helvetica. Helvetica is one of the most popular, most used fonts out there in the world. Yeah. It is made by Mats Meidinger. Hopefully I'm saying the name correct, I'm not really sure. It is one of those fonts I guess you guys must have seen everywhere on the internet. Most of the posters, most of the brochures, most of the typical architecture sheets has this particular font inside it. And this has extremely good qualities, especially for your body as well as for your main headings, and it can also be used for your sheet levelings too, because it has many different kinds of thicknesses. So this is one of those fonts which is like one of the evergreen fonts out there. But one of the disadvantages to this is that as this is one of the most evergreen fonts, a lot of people already use it, so there is no you cannot really stand out in the crowd while using this font a lot. However, if you want to make a typical design, typical sheet presentation, this is one of the good ones out there, and it has so many thicknesses you can use it in any cases, like I already mentioned. The next font is also a pretty cool one called Unisans. Unisans is one of the sans serif fonts which I personally use a lot. Let it be for your headings, let it be for my YouTube thumbnails. I use this particular font a lot. And yes, it has a little bit of disadvantage to it. The thickest font is good for headings. I will not recommend the thickest font to be used in the main body because it is so thick, it is almost illegible from a distance, so it is not that great. However, it has various different kinds of weights, so make sure to try out the thinner versions in your main body because that is where it is going to shine a lot. Again, it is one of the most popular fonts out there. It is used in poster designs, sheet designs, brochure designs, website designs out there. One of the coolest areas where you can see this font in action is the Apple website. Most of the write-ins, headings in the Apple website is using the Unisans font in various thicknesses, so make sure to check that out. I'm already showing that on the screen right now. Again, as Unisans is a very popular font, there are some alternatives to it which has a little bit of same feeling. However, it is a little bit different. First one is called Proxima Nova, another one is called Peace Sans. These two fonts are pretty cool. However, I will suggest these two fonts only to be used in headings, not in body, not in sheet levelings, etc. Only in headings, these two fonts are really useful because these are very thick fonts. The next font which I'm going to talk about is Bebas Neo. Bebas Neo is one of those fonts which has a little bit of vertical nature to it, designed by Ryuichi Sunikawa. This is one of the font which, if you are making a vertical sheet presentation, if you are making a vertical portfolio, then this font, as this is a little bit vertical in nature, as you can see it is a little bit stretched out in the y-axis. This is extremely cool for those kind of scenarios, and definitely headings are a must with this font. For body, I won't really recommend this font because it is a little bit of vertical nature to it, and as this is too vertical in a distance, that is not legible. However, if it is a close call thing, if the presentation is in close borders, that is of course going to work out pretty well. However, I'll recommend some font like Helvetica or some font like Gotham to be used in the body, not this one. Definitely because it has some of its reasons like I already mentioned. The last font which I'm going to talk about in this video is the TK Architects. Now, it is not a very good font because it is not really designed that well. Otherwise, the potential of this font is enormous. You guys as architecture students have really learned this style of lettering a lot, right? So this is what this particular font is all about. This font has those old lettering styles which we learned in architecture schools, and pretty cool if you guys want to make any kind of small changes in your drawings, like revisions of something, or something like in a A4 sheet you want to do the leveling of your drawings, then this kind of fonts is going to perform really well. However, do not use these fonts in big A1 or A0 sheets, as this is a very thin font. There are no bold thicknesses or anything, as this is just one single font. It is not going to be that much legible after a distance. So for smaller sheet presentations such as A4 size sheets, for small drawing changes, making revision clouds, this particular font is going to shine really well. So that is enough for this video, guys. I hope you guys like this top fonts which I regularly use a lot. If you guys use any one of them, do make sure to let us know in the comment section down below. With that being said, if you guys like this video, then subscribe, comment down below, like this video, and we are the Frustrated Designers. We'll be back really soon. Peace.